There's this common belief in a lot of SAP-centric organizations. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. And for years, I think Web Dynpro has really been the definition of that. It works, it's stable. But what if the thing that isn't broken is actually the biggest barrier holding you back?
It's a challenging thought for sure, because it's not broken, right? It does the job. So the business often doesn't see the problem.
Exactly, but that's what we're here to talk about. This is Neptune Talks, where we share short insights on SAP execution and innovation. And today, we're diving into why modernizing your Web Dynpro applications isn't just a nice to have anymore, but an urgent business necessity.
That's a great way to frame it, because the challenge today isn't that Web Dynpro has stopped working, it's that the world around it has completely changed.
Exactly. It was quite literally built for a different era. An era of desktops, of users who were trained extensively on complex screens, and where the user experience wasn't really a primary business concern. It was all about function.
Right, function over form. But now that's completely flipped. I mean, business teams, frontline workers, operational users, they expect intuitive, mobile ready applications. They use them every day in their personal lives, and they absolutely bring that expectation to work.
They really do. And IT is, caught in the middle. On one hand, they have these new, very loud user demands. On the other, they have this critical mandate to protect the SAP core, to maintain stability and security. And let's be honest, Web Dynpro applications were never ever designed for this new world.
Right. So you end up with this paradox. These applications are too critical to the business to just retire, but they're too outdated to support the modern user experience. The business needs to be agile and efficient.
And that brings us to the urgency. This isn't a theoretical problem anymore. There are major business drivers forcing the issue. The most significant one for many is a shift toward S/4HANA and the push for clean core strategies.
I'd argue it's even more immediate than that in some cases. While S/4HANA is a massive technical driver, the change in user expectations we just talked about is a constant daily pressure. A clunky, desktop-bound screen can directly impact employee productivity and satisfaction today, regardless of an organization's S/4HANA roadmap.
That's a very fair point. You're right, they're two sides of the same coin. The S/4HANA strategy is often the catalyst for the budget and the project, but the user dissatisfaction is the persistent pain point that makes that project a priority.
Exactly. And there's a third driver here that's becoming a huge constraint: development capacity.
Yes, finding developers with the right skills to maintain, let alone innovate on, older platforms like Web Dynpro is getting harder and more expensive. Companies are competing for a shrinking pool of talent, so IT can't even keep up with basic maintenance, much less build the modern apps the business is asking for.
So the real question becomes how? How do you modernize without a massive, multi-year, high-risk project that disrupts the entire business? The idea of a rip and replace is terrifying for any leader in the IT space.
It is, and that's where the thinking has shifted. An alternative approach is gaining traction, one that focuses on modernizing the user experience while keeping the proven stable SAP backend logic completely intact. You don't touch the core business processes that already work.
That makes sense. It's a de-risked approach. You're essentially just changing the front door to the application. Using something like the Neptune digital experience platform, organizations can replace those old Web Dynpro interfaces with modern HTML5 applications.
Precisely. You move from those rigid desktop-bound screens to task-oriented applications that work on any device. The end user gets a simple, intuitive app that helps them do their job faster, but it's still powered by the same robust SAP logic that the business has trusted for years. It's modernization without disruption.
And what's powerful about that is that it doesn't have to be a big bang project. Many organizations are able to modernize incrementally.
Right. They can start with the most critical or highest impact user-facing processes first. Pick a key workflow that's causing a lot of pain, modernize it, show the value quickly, and then move on to the next one. It builds momentum and delivers continuous value to the business.
That incremental approach is so key. It allows IT to be more responsive to the business and proves the value of modernization every step of the way, instead of asking for a huge investment based on a promise of value 2 years down the road. For anyone listening who wants to see what that looks like in practice, NeptuneSoftware.com has some great resources.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up, I think we can distill this down. The key takeaway is Web Dynpro modernization is no longer optional. Driven by S/4HANA strategies, modern user expectations, and a shortage of legacy skills, companies must act. But the solution isn't a risky rip and replace. It's an incremental approach that keeps your proven SAP backend logic while replacing outdated interfaces with modern, user-friendly applications.
If you want more short insights like this on SAP, follow Neptune Talks. And if you want to explore more, you can visit NeptuneSoftware.com.